So welcome to Divine Healing, Moving into Empowerment. This is a free intro webinar. You'll see 4 people in the on the right hand side. If you want to move them up and down, you see little chevrons, and you can just scroll up and down people there. Okay, you want to see people. Okay, so and when you're not speaking, if you just have it on mute on the bottom left, otherwise we get everyone's background noise because it's very sensitive. So I said to mute, you've got a bit of a cough. So welcome, everybody. I'm Nicholas David Nana, the Centre for Conscious Ascension, and we're going to talk about divine healing, moving into empowerment, and this is a very powerful healing modality that was developed by Almira Ariel Halle, who used to run the Centre for Conscious Ascension with me and with a couple of other very experienced healer friends of ours. And it came about because we were, at 10, 15 years ago, we were all looking for a very powerful tool to clear our emotional separation issues. We were facing very big challenges with disempowerment. And we were looking at all sorts of conventional healing tools and finding that they weren't strong enough. And Amira did a lot of research and tried to learn some of the more cutting-edge tools that were available in the early 2000s, but the teachers weren't really willing to teach her so she could teach it. So she developed something herself with the other 2, Mary Leah-Maristatut and Rashan Amariel, as she was known in those days. So this has been going about 10 years now, and it's based on the principle of ask and you shall receive. It's based on the idea that our higher self creates us in our totality, and that if it can create us the way we are with all our challenges in life, as you all know, then it can take it apart. And so basically you're asking your higher self and you're aligning to your higher self, the divine, to dismantle your ego onion that creates everything that you'll go through. Some of it you'd rather not have happen anymore. And this webinar is about how this actually works. So what I'd like to hear from you guys, seeing as it's just a small, well-formed group here, just briefly who you are, where you're located, and what brought you here and what you'd like from this, okay? Because then we're sort of setting intention for this, okay? And you can say as little or as much as you want, really, when we do this, okay? So, who would like, Nikki, you'd like to start by the sounds of it. So, away you go.
Hi everyone, I'm Nikki Sharma. I'm based in London. And what brought me here is I have already experienced the divine healing on numerous occasions and gone through removing a lot of blocks in my personal life, whether it's work or relationship, and seen some great transformations. I myself am a Reiki master, so I'm very much into healing and learning as much as I can about various healing modalities. And it was quite, it resonated with me when you sort of mentioned earlier that I find Reiki is amazing, but it's not quite powerful when it comes to removing certain blocks. And then having done divine healing and seen quite a lot of positive changes, I thought I'd like to actually get into this and learn this as well. So curiosity and my urge to keep, learning as much as I can about healing and helping others is what me here today.
Okay, thanks, Nikki. Who would like to go next? Just unmute yourself and.
I'll go.
Okay, Coco.
Hi, I'm Coco Oyesiana Ray, and this is a new vibrational name for me. I've been working with Nicholas and had the soul contract reading in the name optimization, and part of that process is doing the healing as well. So I'm just interested to see what the processes of the divine healing is and learning a bit more and seeing if I can do the training. And really what I want to get from today is, just a deeper understanding for that and kind of witness it being kind of talked about, done. Yeah, just understanding it on a deeper level.
Okay, and where are you located?
Also, I'm based in Leeds, West Yorkshire.
Yep. Yeah, I know where you are, but no one else is here.
Yeah. Okay.
We figure it out from the accent. Yeah, I'm from New Zealand originally. I mean, somewhere off the planet before that. So,
yeah.
Who else would like to go next?
Yeah,
Jonathan.
I'm talking next. Well, today I'm normally based in Barcelona, but I'm actually based in the UK today, sort of halfway between London and Oxford, just outside High Wycombe in Buckinghamshire. I'm here because I want to understand more about what divine healing can do. So I've sort of watched video and things, but I don't feel I've really I need to hear things several times before I get my head around things. And so I felt like the video would be a good way of being able to pitch in and ask the questions that I have as and when they occur, to understand more of the type of issue it can deal with. We did a soul contract reading, Nicholas, I guess around the end of August, I think.
It was last year, yeah.
And you recommended a number of things that one or two I've followed up on since then, and I wanted to do this course because I know there's a divine healing course coming up, I think week after next, and so I thought now this is good timing to pitch in and learn a bit more about it and see if I can clear some of the blockages which are sort of, I feel, holding me back, mainly around lack of confidence, anxiety, not being all I can be, that sort of thing. And I guess that's probably what's most interesting for me.
Okay, thank you, Jonathan.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Sharon, would you like to have a go?
Yes. I'm interested in divine healing, and there's a feedback.
Okay, what to reduce your speaker volume? You're getting feedback through the microphone, probably. Yeah, if everyone else could mute, Nikki, if you can mute.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is that better?
Yeah, just drop it another notch or two, then it should be okay. Oh, I think Nikki's gone.
Okay, it's okay now?
Yeah.
Okay, I saw that you were having a webinar today, and I'm interested in knowing what the divine healing course that you have is. I've seen it on your site before. I'm in Canada, in a small town in Ontario.
Okay.
And I don't know what else to say.
Okay, that's
blocks,
fine.
I've got a lot of those.
Don't we all? Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Breege?
I'm Breege, and I'm based in London. I'm a homeopath, and I use a German technology called Time Waver, and I give soul contact readings now since November, when I did the training and did level 2 last weekend, and I'm finding it fantastic. Clients are loving it, and I want to be able to offer them divine healing, and I want to use it on myself as well. Like, I want everything that can help myself and other people to shift patterns and difficulties that we've become aware of. But the next step is, okay, let's clear them as soon as possible. I've had one session of divine healing and loved it. I've had clients who've gone and had sessions, and I can see that it's really powerful. So I'm really interested to know more about what it is. I've never seen syllabus or anything. I don't really know. So I'm really curious and really interested in doing the training.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Well, let's see if anyone else has joined us now. We're okay. So I will share the screen again. So let's just get my little pen out here. So divine healing is really about making your life really happen. So if you're ready to make your life really happen, and most importantly, understand and transform the fundamental underlying program that creates your life in each moment for the better, And this is all the deeply subconscious stuff that keeps coming back to bite us all the time, that we can't seem to get to normally. This is what this work is about. We all have these dreams, what we want to do with our life and our service as light workers here. And they seem to get frustrated a lot. And we all have a vision of how we're going to carry out that dream. We all want to be whole again and heal deeply and completely and easily. And the product of that is to connect to our true essence and tap into our gifts and qualities and make a difference in this reality, in this earth plane. And live a happier life, really, and become master of our life rather than being have more love and joy and fun, rather than being at the mercy of all our programs. And so divine healing was designed to clean up a whole bunch of stuff which creates all this. Being human is challenging, and our souls create us the way we are with all our ego in place, to see if we can transform it through the process of life. And it is challenging. So this work is about actually practically getting on with that. So what is divine healing? All right, let's talk about that. I'm just getting over a virus. That's why. So sorry about that. So divine healing is a multi-dimensional healing system whose purpose is to open to grace. And it provides a very simple, quick, profound, very accurate set of healing tools which you can use on yourself, which is one of the main reasons I learned it, and on others. That was a secondary reason. And basically it allows you to reconnect to your spirit, the high consciousness part of you at all levels. And it provides a lot of self-empowerment, especially if you've learnt it, because it means you can actually heal an issue you'll carry pretty much in a moment if you've got the time. You don't have to go and wait and book a session with someone else, like me, to clear 80% of your own issues. This is the beauty of it. And it carries the keys to enlightenment, and that just means higher consciousness, really, where you've burnt out all your ego programs that have been creating your life the way it is. And when I learned this in 2006 at the first class that our mirror ran, I worked on myself continuously, especially for the first year, 18 months, and I just cleaned up so much of my karma, basically. And it just peeled it out so much faster than anything else I'd used. And I'd spent 10 years already trying to sort out my issues, which are especially mainly around power, empowerment, and becoming worthy of being loved. So what is actually divine healing working on? It's actually working on this. It's actually working on your ego onion, because the purity of who you are, the beauty of who you are, is this beautiful flame of consciousness, the spark of the divine. And when you come into the earth plane, you grow this ego onion. You grow a barrier between you and higher consciousness. Okay. And if you guys have any questions at any time, just put your hand up. Okay. All right. Okay. And so our job is to peel this ego onion, which creates a filter and a distortion in terms of the expression of this flame of consciousness, the love and the light that we truly are. And the divine healing process is designed to peel this ego onion in the right sequence of layers of the onion, because you've got to deconstruct the ego in a very sustainable and manageable way, because our egos are built and they don't like change much. Okay. And they will try and defend the onion and stop you from cleaning it out. So divine healing is designed to get around the ego's defenses, which is why we get stuck in life. And peel the onion so that you can get back to the love that you are. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to grow some lotuses. We're going to grow this beautiful lotus, which is actually what you're transforming yourself into. And this is not the Judeo-Christian good and evil polarity consciousness here. This is about saying all of this is oneness. Even the mud is part of all that is, part of Great Spirit, part of God, in the non-religious sense. So the mud's our emotional separation programs, another metaphor, all the stuff we carry around. And the idea is to bring consciousness to the mud and transform it and grow it into the beauty of life, into lotuses. It's hard to imagine that it can actually be done, but this is what this is actually about. Because our ego tells us that these programs are here forever and you're not going to change them as part of its defense mechanisms, you see. But that's just, it's just, that's not true. All programs with the right access can be cleared. So here's how we do it. Here's how we turn mud into lotuses. And this is about acknowledging all the patterns we have, all right? Acknowledging everything. So the key requirement for healing is this. It is to bring consciousness through your willingness, desire, and courage, which got you here today. And for those of you who are watching this video later on, bring consciousness to the issue here. I'll just change my pen color. To the issue, the emotional issue which is holding you up. It could be unworthiness, disempowerment, lack of trust, feeling abandoned, whatever it is, isolation. When you bring feeling consciousness to a pattern, what happens is that you can heal it, because what you feel you can heal, because all your soul wants to do in its journey of incarnation is for you to feel your way through consciously all the patterns it's put in place in your ego onion. And if you could feel each of your patterns 100%, they would dissolve. But that's challenging because some of these programs have been here a long time. And ego is sort of attached to suffering, really. It's the way it's built. It's designed to keep you away from high consciousness. So what the ego does is it goes and puts, Jonathan.
You had there identify the issue. Are you going to say a bit more about how you do that?
Yes, divine healing uses the higher self to actually identify the issue through a process called number mapping. Okay. And here's how it looks. Here's the divine healing manual. So that's the cover. So let's go to show you. This is the actual content of the course here. So say we were feeling bad on a day. Say you're feeling off. You might go to this. There's 26 different charts in divine healing for each letter of the alphabet. We might start with, say, main low frequency programs. We go to 55. Okay. All right. Just skip to that page.
How would we know to go to that page?
Because if someone say they're feeling a certain way, in the training you get trained to know what charts to look at.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, like a diagnosis, like a route thing. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So basically, what we would do is that we would, for example, we'd pick a number between 1 and 21, and I teach you how to number map, how to pick numbers and use muscle testing. It's quite straightforward. And say 5 came up, then we pick another number, because that applies to this group of numbers. We pick another number, say 2, and we say the main low frequency program in this instance for the client or yourself, say escapism, for example. And then you brought consciousness. You've just gone and done, let me just get back to the right cursor here. You've just got to, you've just identified that this program here is escapism. Okay, and the higher self has actually helped you identify what the program is. And you might just have a feeling you're feeling a bit bad, but as soon as you say to a client, it's escapism, or you realize it yourself, you say, well, actually now you say it, that's true. I've been avoiding life, or my family, or work, or whatever. And then you've just brought consciousness to that program, and you're halfway there to healing it. Okay? And then what divine healing does, okay, is it clears it. You go through a process here. So these are a whole bunch of low frequency programs you can carry. We actually bring consciousness to it here. All right. Actually, let's do this, shall we? Okay, let's just do this. I'll show you. So I want you to have a look through this list, and one of these mainland frequency programs is going to jump out at you, okay? And when you see what it is, I think we lost somebody. Let me just check. I think it was Sandra. Just a sec. Let me just see what's happened to her. She's back. Yeah. Just got to make sure she's plugged in here. Sandra? Sharon, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, I did something wrong.
Okay, yeah, don't touch it. Just leave it as it is.
I won't touch it anymore.
Yeah, okay. I'll just put you on mute. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is look through this list, and I'll just go through slowly, and one of these is going to jump out at you, and that'll be your program, okay? And then write that down.
On the whole page?
Yeah, there's this page here. There's 2 pages. I'm just going to go through slowly. Okay. Or you may feel a program. If you're feeling a strong emotion already, then just write that down because you've already got it. This is when you're not sure what you're feeling or what's going on. Jonathan.
I see over in the top right-hand corner there was overpowering, and I feel overwhelmed a lot of the time, and I think it moves me to a point where I can't think clearly. It stops me taking action. Is that part of the same thing, or is that different?
If you're feeling overwhelmed, put that down. If that's strong for you, put that down.
Okay. Oh, okay.
It doesn't have to be a word on here. This is just for diagnosing if you're not sure what it is. If you're feeling grief at the moment, or bitter, or anger, or fear, that's your low frequency program, and write that down. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. This is just this is for diagnostics if you're not sure what you're feeling, which a lot of people don't know what they feel. They just know that they're feeling bad and not happy about it. But when you say your name to them, like you're feeling repressed, to say, "Oh God, my mother had a really strong go at me today. So I feel repressed, just like when I was 2, or 5, or whatever." Okay. So just write down what you see here, or what you're feeling at the moment. If it's a negative emotion, okay, and that will do the job. So if you're just feeling off, this actually is bringing consciousness to why you're feeling off. Okay.
How many should we choose?
Just one. You can only do one at a time. So the strongest one, if you've got several, because you can only bring consciousness to one program at a time. So if you're going to work on them, you do them in sequence. You see. Okay, has everyone got one? Has anyone not got one? That's probably a better question. Okay. No complaint. Sharon?
Yeah, I have one. I
Okay,
just don't know how to put it into words, though.
You feeling it, or did you see it on the screen?
Feeling it.
Okay. Okay, close your eyes. Let's find out what it is. Okay. All right. So what is the sense of the feeling of the program?
The number 6 came up. I don't know what that means in my head.
Are you feeling any of these ones down here? These resonate.
I don't know. Silenced. The word silenced comes up.
And have you been feeling silenced?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's your word then. That's the low frequency program. Okay.
What is it?
It's been silenced. If you're feeling it, you've been silenced. then that's the one to use. Write
Yes.
that down.
Okay.
Okay, so I want you guys to feel how the program that you picked, I mean, I can't do you all at one go, but I want you all to feel, how does this program that you picked operate in your life without going into a story, okay? Actually, we can do this briefly. So, Sharon, how does being silenced operate in your life? Just very briefly, because when everyone can have a go, we'll just do this a little differently.
Not being listened to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. By who?
Well, when I was a kid, it was sisters and mothers and fathers, but now it's husband and children.
Okay. Okay, so stay with that feeling.
Okay.
Okay. Breathe. What program did you pick?
Lethargy.
Okay. All right. Just feel that. Nikki?
Controlled.
Yeah. And how does that operate in your life, Nikki, being controlled?
Both through my family and also through my work, my employer.
Okay. Just stay with it.
Yeah.
Stay with that feeling. Breathe. How does your one operate in your life?
Low energy and craving sugar to bring my energy up, and not having motivation to do stuff.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Jonathan, how does overwhelm operate in your life?
It gives me a lack of focus. There are too many things to do, and it sort of scatters my energy, and I end up procrastinating and being very ineffective at the way I tackle things.
Okay.
That stops me thinking clearly.
Okay. Sounds like you get very stressed by it. So, okay. All right, Coco.
The first one that jumped out was inferiority.
And how does that
inferior?
Yeah.
That I can't fully speak my truth for fear of being kind of judged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And I think everyone's had a go, haven't they? Yep. All right, good. All right, so you've all brought consciousness to it now. And now we need to find out chart O, which is what we call original time. Where does this thing come from? Okay, so it's a chart got original time, because if you target where something comes from, then you're going to be able to more deeply clear it. So I want you guys to pick a number between 1 and 24. Just close your eyes, pick a number between 1 and 24. Whatever comes in is the first number that's in your head, and write it down. Okay. So, Breeze, what did you get?
8.
Comes from alternate reality. Yep. So we're targeting here. We don't have time to go into the detail of these things, but just watch what happens. Coco, what did you get?
7 alternate universes.
Yeah. Okay. Jonathan, what did you get?
13 birth.
At birth. Okay. All right. So, Nikki, what did you get? Can you hear me, Nikki?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Can hear you now, yeah. What did you get?
24.
Okay. So this happens at the point of creation. That's of this universe. Sharon, what did you get?
23. Sorry.
24.
20, yeah.
4 from grace. Yep. Sharon, what did you get? You have to unmute. Yeah.
Sorry, I got 12.
12, okay. In utero.
5, I mean 20 weeks.
So you had 20 weeks, something happened, okay? So your higher self knows everything about you because it built you, okay? So just stay with that.
Okay.
All right, so let's go back to the main programs. Okay. I want you to all close your eyes and let yourself open to all aspects of the feeling of what you felt there. Perhaps the attachment to it the ego has. Any feelings of being bad for having it. That's what holds it in place. And all judgment around it. And the more you can open to it, the more it can integrate and heal. So I'm going to do the command code for this now. Just let this energy just leave, okay? All right. Have we done this silently? Just want you to breathe in and feel your way through this. Breathing through your mouths. Running the command code now silently. Okay, just finish the command code. Let's feel the shift. Open your eyes now. Just breathing through your mouths. See how that is. Breathe, how are you feeling after that?
Nose was blocked and it just cleared.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I think my head is a bit clearer.
Yeah. Jonathan, how are you feeling?
I'm a bit confused. I sort of lost that part of the process. I didn't really understand what we were doing. You asked us to look at to think about the overwhelm and where it came from and how the judgments we made about it or something.
Yeah, just to become more conscious, going deeper into it. It was more about feeling it. You don't have to think about it. Divine healing is not about thinking or figuring it out. It's nothing to do with that. Okay, it's about bringing feeling consciousness to it. That's all that matters. You've gone on mute again.
In my case, feeling the overwhelm or feeling the judgments that I make around it, or all of it?
All of it. So you feel the overwhelm first, feel any feelings of being bad or any judgments, because that actually is what holds the program in place. That's all you have to do. Thinking actually slows the process down, because in the West we're very left brain, we're trying to figure everything out, but that doesn't change the program. What does change the program is bringing feeling consciousness to it. Okay.
Okay, so basically feeling it first and then feeling the judgments.
Feeling the judgments and any negative emotions around it, especially feeling bad, takes you deep into the program, deep into the little red ball. So what you're actually doing is this. Go back to where we were. What you're actually doing here is you're feeling it. First, we've just changed the pen color. First, you're actually feeling, say, overwhelm. Then you're becoming aware of any judgment which is locking this thing in. And you're becoming aware of any feeling of being bad for being overwhelmed, which is a product of a judgment. And that really expands your consciousness here. What it does is this. basically expands your awareness, feeling awareness. It's not thinking awareness, feeling awareness. You just expanded that, so you encompass more of the program. That's why Bridget's nose cleared, and that's why she felt clearer overall, because she just burnt a whole layer of the program just by bringing feeling consciousness to it. And this is the core principle of how divine healing works. Just there's many different gateways into it depending on the issue you're facing. That's why there are 26 charts.
Okay, thank you.
You would have got some of the healing anyway, just by being in the space. So, Nikki, what was how are you feeling now?
I definitely feel like something shifted. I feel lighter.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Thank you.
All right. Sharon, how are you feeling?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, is it loud enough?
Yeah, loud enough, plenty loud.
Okay, I try to imagine what it would be like in utero, and the word dirty came to mind, and my silence was disturbed.
Yeah.
And I know something actually happened when I was in utero, because I was told, and I had some other treatment that indicated that something had happened. So that's what my silence was disturbed, and it was suddenly dirty.
Yeah.
Physically dirty.
Yeah. How are you feeling now? May we clear a layer of that?
Not much different, really. It's fine though.
Okay. Probably needs a bit more work on that one.
Yeah. Maybe.
Okay. Coco, how are you doing?
I'm not quite sure. There's a lot of energy shifting in me at the moment, and I've got fluttering in my stomach and fluttering in my head. There's a definite shift of something, but I can still feel the energy moving around, and it's almost like I want to belch. It's like, I can feel it wanting to release.
It's okay,
but it's not quite got there yet.
Yeah, we do a lot of burping.
Coming. Yeah,
we do a lot of burping in divine healing because it's a negative energy transforming and releasing. So it's okay to burp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is actually what we're doing here. Okay. This is one of the core principles of it. But what happens is that the ego tries to stop us. It puts this turquoise ice around us as its defense mechanisms, because it's very attached to our suffering and keeping us separate from Great Spirit or God. Okay, so it puts us to ice, these defense mechanisms, which is why it seems to take so long to clear our stuff. Or it may send us into our head, okay, as an avoidance mechanism, or get us into addictions, okay, or busyness, or oral addictions, numbing out, all sorts of ways of stopping us feeling the programs. Okay, so what we do with divine healing is divine healing allows us to break through the defense mechanisms with grace and ease, and to penetrate into the issue. Okay, and as things start to clear, which it is in some of you, okay, all right, Spirit starts to move the energy, and grace descends, which is making things easier. It's sort of iridescent, silvery, violet energy. Then the energy starts to release, okay, and we get free of this program. It drains out, okay. So this is how you peel the onion in divine healing, okay. All right. So you go from conscious awareness of it to actually using these command codes in divine healing in all sorts of different ways to actually getting clear of the layers. Okay. All right. So what are we actually doing here? Let's talk about that. What we're actually doing here is that this is us in our bodies down here. This is our impermanent personalities. We have a physical body in which our soul was landed in, mostly. We have a mental body, an emotional body filled with all our emotional challenges and programs. And we have our energy bodies. And the thing that built us is our higher self. And the higher self, this is an Indian Vedic model. It has the Atmic body or God self, the Buddhic body or higher emotional body, the non-linear mind. And that's where Mozart got his symphonies when he was 7, just downloaded them in completeness because the higher part of him had already figured it out. So this part created you and all your lovely programs. Okay? Everything. So it knows how to take you apart. And you've got this small connection called the Antakarana, which keeps you alive. This is where the life force and consciousness comes from the higher self. Okay? And so the aim here is to clean out the emotional body and the mental body of beliefs and energy bodies of whatever else they're carrying. All right? And that will allow the Antakarana to open. Okay? And allow higher consciousness to come in. And if you do that, life starts getting easier because this happens. As you clear all this lower part of you, the Antakarana opens because your frequency is rising because you've dropped a lot of density, a lot of these low frequency programs. Then this unconditional love starts to flow in and it eases up. So you notice that if you've been working on yourself, and spiritual people who've worked on themselves, they tend to get younger and their life gets easier. You don't get many people who say, I want to actually be 20 again. They might say, I want to look 20, but I don't want to actually be 20 because I have to deal with all this stuff. This heavy duty stuff in my life. If you keep clearing the emotional body, the Antakarana gets even wider and more unconditional love comes in. And that just accepts your programs without judgment. Therefore, the programs loosen up and start to shift. And what happens with divine healing, the more healing you do, the easier it gets. Because the ego is like a big woolly jumper. And as you start to pull the threads out of programming, it loses integrity, the ego. So basically, you're cleaning out the entire ego with this. Okay? And if you keep going the whole way, this is what you get. This is where the ego is pretty much cleaned out. And this is what enlightenment looks like, where the complete opening to the higher self has occurred, the Antakarana. Massive amounts of unconditional love have come in from the higher self and the higher dimensions, and you feel pretty good. This is where you're in a state of grace and bliss. And then what happens as you approach this stage is that the consciousness, the frequency of the higher self is really pouring through you like this. And that then goes out into the reality, into the matrix. So the matrix, reality is like a big three-dimensional projection screen. This starts to create your life the way it's meant to be. This helps you align to purpose, manifest what you desire. It's in divine order. And basically life is a graceful flow rather than being a massive struggle. So basically like Christ spent 12 years in the desert and traveling all over the world, Europe especially, to clear his emotional body so he could do his job. He could embody this and do the things he did. Okay? Like you said, you too can do this, and this is what he was talking about. So divine healing you can reach enlightenment. You have to really work on it though. But the main thing is that it brings you that peace, and it burns your programming to this projection of consciousness through you. As you're like a projection lens, and this reality is a third-dimensional projection screen. And the clearer your lenses, the more you'll manifest of what you truly desire in life, if it's in divine order, okay, of your higher self. And that's where magic happens. Things just turn up. And if you've got to reach a stage of what I call the threshold of self-integration, where you've cleared enough of the lower self, which is us here, that enough of this higher frequency comes through, and that countermands all the stuff that whatever's left in you is trying to do. It becomes strong enough, and then you start to follow this flow here much more, rather than being at mercy of the ego. And that's when life gets really interesting. It's because you're doing this. What you're doing is it.
Sorry to interrupt. Can I just ask, how do you know when you've cleared enough of the programs? Life
gets easier. Life opens and flows, Nikki. Basically, you get what you really want, a lot more.
Okay.
You'll know, because you suddenly realize the drag weight of the karmic drag weight is a lot less. and that life's more graceful. And in fact, you start to get the feeling, I can play with this. So what are we going to create today? Do you have that on a good day?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's having that more of the time. It's being in the zone more of the time, more and more progressively. Okay, and that's when you know you've reached that point. So the ego is no longer dominating you. You've taken charge at a soul level. Okay. So what's happening for most people is that the ego is taking you along this path of suffering here. You're following all its needs. The ego has endless desires, never satisfied. And so this creates pain. The Buddha calls it suffering. So I call this the path of suffering. But when you do divine healing regularly on yourself, you start to move to this position, which is following the spiritual signature. Okay? Because we each have a spiritual map of life. Okay? The path we're meant to follow, if we're completely clear. And if you start finding out what the spiritual signature is, and the spiritual signature is defined as following whatever opens your heart the most in each moment. And if you're clear enough emotionally, then you can do that. If you've still got a load of karmic patterns, it's hard to feel the heart because your heart may not be open yet. So if you get to the stage of heart opening, okay, and you start to converge, when you become conscious of what feels right, you're progressively converging on the spiritual signature. Because if you're in this is called being in the zone. If you're in the zone on the spiritual signature, life just opens and flows. Things just happen for you gracefully and easily. It's not running into the brick walls of life anymore. Okay, you escape that job, Nikki. You escape the family the way it is, and you take charge and do what you want to do, and no one can stop you. That's called claiming sovereignty. But that requires having cleared your ego enough to do that. So and to be able to do this requires going from the little tiny human ego here that feels all alone, battling the world by itself, struggling, getting flattened, falling over, picking itself up, to expanding your consciousness. This is the energy coming in the Antakarana as you get clear enough, so your higher consciousness is actually guiding you to go on this path rather than this path. And this path is not something your mind or the ego can figure out. It's just in the moment. There's one next right action. So divine healing takes you to the state of grace more and more of the time. Okay? Everyone like the sound of that?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, this is how you do it. But you've got to work on it. It doesn't happen overnight. But it's better than staying where you are now. You know. So what happens with divine healing is that your emotional blockages, all the stuff we pick up just from being embodied, the issues sit in your body and your energy and your emotional body especially, and your cells, and they steal your life force, which is where you get lethargy from and tiredness. Okay? And the idea of divine healing is to remove those blockages, and by penetrating with grace and ease the defense mechanisms and dissolving the blockages and freeing up the life force, and then you're underway again. So that life force can go to create whatever you want, but if it's tied up holding on to all your programs, then it's much harder to actually move forward. Okay. Any questions on that so far, people?
No.
Pretty clear? Okay.
Can I give an example, Nicholas?
Yeah.
One thing I've really noticed recently, I had no idea that I had this program running in my unconscious about feeling unlovable. Like to the extent of really feeling like there's something really bad about me deep down. And what I've noticed through the divine healing session I had, and through every time I do a training with you, everything gets really clear, and it's really painful to see these programs. But what I've experienced like this week is allowing myself just to connect with people and share, be vulnerable with people, and allow myself to be loved. And it's so fantastic and new and so easy. Like all my life I couldn't do this, but suddenly I'm able to do it. just to allow myself to be loved and to. Of course, I'm worthy of love.
Very good. Okay, well, yes, this is bring consciousness to it. Just got a couple more people have arrived. Just need to try and bring them online here just a minute. Okay, just got to make some adjustments to the settings here. Just a minute. So yes, if you want to actually show yourself, you can join us, or you can just stay where you are. It's up to you, really. Just click on the button there. Okay. Okay. So maybe not. Okay. Right. Hi, SS. What do you want to talk to us? Can you hear me? Oh, you don't have to talk if you don't want. That's all right. Okay. Okay. So we're going to do a bit more more shifting of energy. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to clear any energy interference on you guys. And so just being in this reality creates a lot of interference from like entities and thought forms and all sorts of other beings, earthbound souls. These are beings who have left the body but are attached to you because they have a resonance with the issues you face. So I'm going to give you a bit of a spring clean. So if you guys just close your eyes, I'll do this silently, okay? So we're going to clear the earthbound souls first, okay? Here we go. And everyone watching this video later will get the same clearance. The transmission's embedded in the video. Feel the shift, it's occurring. Get to the next layer of interference now. Feel that next shift. Now we're going to release energetic discarnates, entities and attachments, all sorts of astral life forms, okay, which can attach to you. So trying to stop you rising in consciousness here. Now we're going to ask Archangel Michael to take all these beings to the light. Okay, you can open your eyes now. I would like to share how they feel after that. You don't have to share if you don't want.
I share something.
Go on, Coco.
When you were doing the first clearing of the earthbound entities, I definitely felt like a pull coming out of the back of my heart space.
Yep.
I didn't feel anything with the second, but the third cleaning of the entities, it was just as if a plug came out of my throat.
Yeah.
The lower throat, so it just feels so much clearer and my eyes feel brighter.
Yep.
So yeah, it's good.
Okay, very good, Coco. Anyone else want to share there?
I felt thoughts that were clear, and then I couldn't remember what they were, and something flying away.
Yep, yeah, they were leaving your energy field in your body. So we
Yes.
This is the big clean out, what we do. Okay, thank you, Sharon. Breach?
Thank you.
First of the 3 bits, I felt a lot of energy shifting in my chest.
Yeah.
Like, really a lot of energy moving up and out. And then otherwise, just a lot of kind of jerking and, unspecific movement.
Yeah, stuff leaving your body when you're moving around. Literally exiting. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Anyone else want to share? Nikki?
Felt a lot of energy and warm heat around my
You
throat.
had to bring the microphone up a little bit.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better.
I just felt a lot of heat and energy around my throat and my head area.
Yeah.
That was completed. It just felt really relaxed, like something had been lifted away, especially around my head.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Okay. Okay, so SS said they'd like to remain anonymous, but they thought a big shift. Okay, that's fine, SS. Okay, thank you for sharing. Okay. Jonathan, how was that?
I didn't necessarily feel anything leaving, but I don't know, I have a sense of less numbness, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, you could have some beings or astral beings trying to stop you from feeling stuff. Because you start to feel stuff, you start to bring consciousness to it, which means you start to clear it. Because these beings are feed off our negative emotions, and they're trying to trigger us to stay in a negative emotional state, because that energy is food for them. So you're cutting off their food supply, which they're not too keen on. Okay, so that's actually what happens.
Thank you.
All right. So how many of you guys are aware of past life issues you've got? Past life deaths? You want to
Yes.
aware of those? Okay, well, we're going to do some past life stuff there. So let me just get the screen shared again. Okay, so going to look for the manual. We're going to pick a past life chart. So 70-80% of what we carry is not from this life. It comes from past lives. Okay, which is why it sort of can seem, how can I carry so much karma? I haven't been around long enough to get into such mischief, but actually it's from past lives. So, and we often carry a lot of trauma around past life deaths. So I want you to actually look at this past life chart, and one of these is going to jump out at you, okay? All right. So I'll scan through it slowly and write that down. One of them, your eyes will be really drawn to it. Okay, so have a look. Or yeah, actually better still, close your eyes. We'll show you number mapping. Pick a number 1 to 24. Whatever comes in your head, write that down, because it'll be the right one. Okay. Let's write that down. And then you look on the page here, and you look for your number. Say I had 15, and then what I would do is that I would pick a number between 1 and 3. So I'd pick 2, for example, died of obesity. Okay. So what I want you to do is, when you get to your number, as I scroll through the screen slowly here, then pick a number, say 1 and 7 for 1, or 1 and 6 for 8, and write down that number and what the actual cause of death was. Okay. Don't try and figure it out. Just trust your higher self, because it knows, because it created this whole thing.
Can I just say, when you first said just look at the thing, one popped out, but now it's a completely different number now, you said.
Okay.
Pick a number. Should I?
Just go with whichever's strongest, Coco.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So I'm just going to scroll through slowly. I can go back if anyone misses anything. Okay. Lots of lovely ways to die on Earth, guys. Okay. All right. So has everyone got the cause of death? Anyone not got it? Okay. All right. Okay. So now I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to ask how many lifetimes are involved, and a number will pop in your head, and write that down. That'll be the correct one, because your high self's just basically telling you, because you've asked. Whenever it's asking, you shall receive the system. Okay, who wants to share how they died? Yes, you can just message me here. Bree, what happened?
Hi.
How many times has that happened? Yeah. Okay. I've been drawn and quartered a lot. They used to really set me off watching historic TV shows and movies. When I saw that, it really got me going. Until when I did this and I figured out, oh, that's why, because it actually happened. Because the cellular memory's in you, you see. Okay. Sharon, what happened to you?
Hanged also.
I was popular tonight.
10 times.
Really naughty, yeah.
10 times. I'm very stubborn.
Yeah. Okay. Nikki?
Fall.
What's that?
Fall.
Fallen.
Fall, yeah. Fall.
Yeah.
I died from fall.
Okay.
And then 7 came up, so.
That's correct then.
7 times ago or 7 times, I'm not quite sure.
It's 7 times, 7 different lifetimes. We tend to die the same way. We tend to repeat it a few times to get the hang of it.
Well, I do have a bit of an issue with height, so that kind of might explain.
I think it explains it all.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense now.
Yeah. Anyone else want to share how they bit the dust, Jonathan?
Left to die 3 times.
Yep. Okay. Coco?
I've got massacred.
Yeah.
But it says at least 101
All right.
times.
Being busy.
Very busy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I want you to focus on those lifetimes. Focus on the feeling of what happened in those lifetimes, and we're going to clear it. Okay. I'll do this silently. Because this is sitting in your cells, so I'll put it here. So here we go. Okay, you can relax now. Just embrace the shift. All right. How was that, Sharon?
Yeah, it felt really good.
Yep. Your neck a bit more relaxed?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else want to share how that was? Nikki?
I'm just feeling very hot.
Yeah, you're having an energy release then.
Yeah, I'm feeling very hot and very relaxed.
Yeah, you're having a cellular release of the memory. So, anyone else? No? Okay. Alrighty. So, in divine healing, once we've done this is a powerful clearing chart. Once we've done a powerful chart, we then do an integration chart. So we're going to do a bit of nutrition. Okay, energetic nutrition just to clear this. So let me go back to the manual. Okay, so we'll go to so basically nutrition can be physical nutrition or energetic nutrition, because physical nutrition contains a specific frequency. All right, so what I want you to do is close your eyes and pick a letter A, B, C, or D. Okay, and write that down. Okay. And then, looking at the charts here, pick a number. And for example, if you've got an amino acid A, pick a number between 1 and 25. And write down whatever it is. You don't have to understand what it is or what it does. And all it matters is targeting it, and it'll work anyway. Okay, so, or B, or number between 1 and 19. Okay. So Coco, can you hear me? Yeah. We're doing some energetic nutrition. So pick a letter A, B, C, or D. Okay, whatever comes in your mind. And then pick a number, for example, amino acids number between 1 and 25, or essential fatty acids 1 to 19. Okay, because we're going to infuse this nutrition just to integrate what we've just done. And this is the other chart. This is the C and D. So if you've got a C, pick a number between 1 and 21. You've got a D, pick a number between 1 and 26. Okay. Has everyone got a number now? Yep. Okay, close your eyes. I'm going to infuse this, okay? So just help you integrate what we've done. Well, I feel I want to yawn. I already cleared something out. Okay. Open your eyes when you're ready. Okay, who wants to share how that felt? That just sort of just integrates all the work we've done tonight. Sure. Go on.
I'd like.
Go on. You, Sharon, go on.
Oh, okay. Well, before we started the clearing, my stomach was very hungry, and it didn't need to be, and now it's not anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else?
Trying to find a word to describe this feeling, the sensation in my front stomach. It's a bit like tingling, like I want to laugh, It's very light and nice energy.
Okay, thanks, Breach. Anyone else? Nikki?
I just feel incredibly peaceful and relaxed. I'm quite yawning. Like I want to go to sleep, but I'm not tired.
Okay, good. Well, you'll feel energized because you just had to release a life force when you do this. You tend to get more juice, the more divine thing you do, the more life force you get. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Jonathan? All right. We're just going to take Jonathan first. Yeah.
I feel hot now. I haven't felt many releases or sensations particularly, but my body temperature's slowly been going up.
Yeah, that's actually cellular release coming out the cells when you go hot, because the program's been compressed and you release it out, or energy shifts because it's been holding it in so long. It's the life force actually activating in you, Jonathan. Yeah, so sometimes it takes a stack of a few charts to break through the turquoise ice. You've just done it. You've just broken through the layer. That's actually what's happened.
Okay, thank you.
Coco.
Sorry, Coco, come in.
That was so intense. I'm still clearing now, but there was just so much stuff coming up, which is why I answer me. But I feel that something's definitely shit. I feel so empowered right now. Yeah, a real shift in energy, but my stomach's still churning a lot. But yeah, it feels in a good way.
Yeah, I think you've actually let some emotional pressure out this evening. That's why stuff's coming out. So,
wow.
Yeah, I think you've taken on a lot of stuff and now it's unloading.
Yeah.
In a hurry.
Feel that.
So. Okay. Okay. So Isis has sent me a message, which I'm going to look at here. So Isis has said to me about the soul contract, your soul contract decoded book. Some people only have spiritual goals, which is your underlying drive, what you want to do spiritually, and they have physical goals. Any general advice to people who have this condition? Does this say something about the Antakarana? It's more about just their orientation in life. Yes, that's what it's more about. Everyone has an Antakarana that feeds specific programs into us. So it expresses and experiences life through us in a very specific way. So it's just a matter of the mix the soul is actually trying to put in place, really. So I hope that helps. So I'm going to talk a bit more about a few more charts to do here. So we've had our little direct experience of it. Are there any questions about divine healing? So I thought it'd be better just you guys have a direct experience of it. Okay. And so you know what it is, and and I'll say a bit more about the manual and stuff. Any questions so far? No?
I've got a question.
Yeah, Nikki.
How do we, once you become trained to use divine healing, how do you, I mean, like with Reiki, you get attuned, so I understand how Reiki works, but how do you channel divine healing in order to heal people? I don't understand the link.
Yeah,
to help others.
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll explain a bit more. Okay, so this is about empowering yourself, and this is a master key to Ascension, divine healing. There are 5 levels of it actually now, and each is an activation that you go through as a practitioner. That's the way it works. And we're basically, this is the 12-strand DNA that we've got here. Everything that's in that creates us. So divine healing consists of 26 charts, and the charts are mixtures of several things, very powerful clearing charts, okay? And you learn every chart experientially in the workshop. And what I do is we teach you how to open the space for divine healing at the beginning, close it at the end, so you're aligned to the higher self and you're clear enough in your intuitive connection to the higher self. And we teach each chart in a specific order depending on who comes to the workshop. And the way we teach it is that over the 4 days is that I explain the theory of it, I demonstrate on one of you, and then you go and practice on each other in the workshop. You give and receive each chart. Or some of the charts are straightforward and I just do it on all of you in one go. Okay? But more complex ones, you go off into virtual rooms in Zoom here, so you have virtual privacy, so you can't see or hear anyone else. I'll come in occasionally to check how you're doing, or you can put your hand up and say, we need some help. But you then go off and spend maybe an hour, half an hour each way on a particular chart and practice. So that you get the transmission, so you see it in action, you see a demo, if it's more complex, and then you practice on each other. And then we move to the next chart, and the order we do these charts depends on the order that Spirit wants us to work in. And you will get a complete transmission and healing from every chart and from every issue that everyone else works on in the course. So basically it's a very powerful 4-day healing course, but you come out the other end activated to level 1 and being able to do this work. Okay. And so we have several types of charts here. We have like the main low frequency program charts, deep clearing charts, okay? God consciousness, this is how you choose, your ego chooses to separate from God. Hidden agendas, your ego has lots of agendas, like to suffer, or Bridget's one, which is, Bridget's had one about a self-judgment of not being lovable. So that program would have been, I am unlovable, I'm unlovable. The most powerful one is key psychological conflicts in the ego, deeply hidden programs which sabotage us a lot. Past life death is usually pretty strong. Sabotages is very strong. So all this is unconscious stuff, but when you get into this and you do the number mapping and muscle testing, you realize that's all true. And that explains why a whole bunch of stuff happens which I haven't been able to shift. We have trauma charts here. Okay. So these are all deep clearing charts here. Okay. I'll just talk about them all. We have quick command codes to clear things, and then we have other charts which are more like diagnostic charts, like where is the issue in the body. Okay, we play with universal archetypes that are in the human consciousness that we adhere to. We clear the toxicity, energetic toxicity of vaccines and toxins which are designed to dull our consciousness. We have these healing symbols which appeal to the left brain to actually help integrate. We balance the male-female polarities in us. What else do we have? Blocks to positive living, what stops us moving forward. We clean out the subtle bodies. We've done original time and nutrition. We look at what stresses us in life. We just done interference, we did that. We look at what fears we have. Fears are usually very deep-seated. Okay? So that's sort of not quite as strong. A lot of these ones up here are integration charts, like the frequencies of angels, frequencies of essences, cleaning up the chakras, balancing out the water in our body, because the water carries our emotions, and if the water's not at a higher frequency level, or you're not hydrated properly, you can't actually process and clear because you can't get at the emotions. More diagnostic states for the emotions. So basically we sort of move around the manual, we sort of go through this in the right order through the 4 days till you actually done them all. And then the key is to actually take the experience of 4 days intense practice and go and try it on friends and family and yourself. And that's actually, Nikki, how you get into it. You've got to basically practice with it. They all follow the basically same format. There's a diagnostic part of the chart to find out which chart is it. You pick it over 1 to 26, where to start, and you start with that chart. Or someone's saying to you, I'm feeling really depressed, so you probably go to low frequency programs. And then that will lead you to other charts, and they're all interlinked. But I teach you how to follow the flow of the signature. So you don't have to think about this. This is about, you have to feel your way through this. This is the way divine healing works. And every client is unique in the way you work with them. And you'll develop your own working style that feels right to you. And after a while, it's activated in you. So what's happening here is that in that activation, you become it. It entrains in your fields, and then you just flow with your client or flow with yourself, because it's very powerful as a self-healing tool. And then your higher self basically unwinds whatever program has presented itself. Does that help, Nikki?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
Is that much? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to cover all of these over a 4-day period.
We are. Yeah.
And each aspect, each one of these has a transmission. Is that right?
Each one clears a specific issue, yeah, or types of issue, yeah. You're going to do them all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah.
I can see a few of them that I've had healing on, so yeah, it makes sense now being on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. So, we do this on Jonathan.
Nicholas, is it you recommend that we have a session with you, at least one session with you, before we actually go on the course? Is that right?
That was so you'd understand what this is. You just had your session, Jonathan, because you know what it is now. You see, it's just to connect with it. And I also need to see how you react to it, and the fact that your cells start to release some of the frozenness tells me that you're open to it. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. So Coco.
Can I just because obviously we've experienced the healing now in the session, and I'm still having to leave to bring things up and coughing and my nose is running. Does that kind of just, obviously I'm in the process still, does it just work its way through whatever it is that it hit and needs to clear, or do I need to do something else specific?
I would just drop lots of water, Coco, and have an Epsom salt bath. You're just detoxing because you just released a whole bunch of stuff you've been malabsorbed. Okay. Right. So you will detox a lot, okay? Because you're pulling the lid off a whole bunch of stuff that's been building up over a very long period of time. Okay.
Yeah.
With us, okay.
Okay.
So that's how we do it. We just have a journey through the charts, and you just get a progressive 4-day healing. Plus, you become a practitioner as well. You see, and Sharon.
It has to be in person?
No, we can do it on Zoom. This is what we actually teach us online most of the time.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to be in England. You can just sit wherever you are now.
Okay, good.
On a computer, you have to have headphones and a hardwired internet connection.
Yeah, I have better stuff than this.
And we can you have to see each other. It has to be decent sound quality and video, because you're actually working with someone all the half the time in the workshop.
Right. Okay, I could do that.
You can just stay home, and what time zone are you in?
I think it's about 4:00 Eastern Standard Time, maybe.
Okay. Well, we run it from 1:00 UK time, so we run it from 8:00 in the morning Eastern Time till about 3:30 in the afternoon your time.
Okay.
So it runs to 8:30, 1:00 to 8:30 UK time. So usually half the class is from North America.
Oh,
okay.
Great.
You see, it's a bit reversed today. It's pretty much mostly.
Oh, well, that was worrying me a bit.
Yeah, but yeah, a lot of North Americans turn up for this, and so we time it so that the Californians only have to get up at 5 in the morning rather than 2, which is what they used to do. But it means I can teach till about 8:30, which is why we run from 1 to 8:30. After that, I'm not so good. So it means we go on.
Yeah, perfect for me.
Yeah, it means we cover California to Europe basically usually with this course. So that's the way we time it like that. So you can just do it from the comfort of home, and if you guys never want to turn up in person here in Walton on Thames, you're welcome to. But we'll still be using computers, so there'll be some people in the room and some online. That's actually how we teach the class.
And it's 4 days.
It's 4 days. You have to attend live the whole time because it's a transmission. It's not something you can just watch and catch up on something, because you have to attend the transmission and give and receive and practice. Okay. And I coach you through the practice, because the actual practice, giving and receiving, you learn a lot, and actually you embody that particular chart when you do that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else got any other questions on the course?
Nicholas, when I had my divine healing session, the person giving it to me, she didn't ask me to look at charts and choose numbers. She just tuned in and
she was. Yeah, as a practitioner, that's generally what you do. But you're thinking about becoming a practitioner, so I'm showing you actually how it works.
Fine. Yeah. I want to do the course because I want to be able to do what she did, which is
the client.
That's the answer that I get.
Yeah, the client never sees the charts normally. Okay, unless it's a symbol. Okay. Okay.
You're asking the client's higher self to tell you which chart it is, which number it is.
Yeah, basically your higher self and the client's higher self, they all connect up, and then it's all coming through you. You're the one in charge. Okay. All right. So, and the client just has to be conscious and receive and feel, give you their responses. So you're the one working with all the numbers. They don't have to do that. Yeah. They may say the command codes if it's empowering, but you ask them to repeat after you. Yeah. But generally, you're as a practitioner leading the course. Okay.
And when something gets cleared in a session like that, is that it? Would it have to be cleared again? Can something be cleared like again and again?
What usually happens is this. Is there a diagram here? I know layers of the programming will come out. Okay. Different layers of the programming come out. So you may hit one layer, then it may come back a few months later, but it's a deeper, finer layer. Okay. Because you can't take a program out all in one go. It's not possible. Okay. Because you destabilize the ego. You see. Okay. So SS has asked me when's the course on next. So the next one here, those of you interested, is on the 16th and 19th of February. So if you want to come in person, it's in Surrey, Bolton on Thames, half an hour from London, and we use Zoom for the simultaneous global web conference. So it runs from 1 to 8:30 p.m. UK. Okay, and then it would run from 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In California, 5 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Okay. So yeah, that's the timing on it anyway. That's when we're running the next one. Okay.
And there are breaks for dinner and.
Yeah. We would do just like we did in the previous soul contract course. We do about an hour and a half. Have a 20-minute break, another hour and a half, another 20-minute break, another hour and a half, then about an hour for a meal, another hour and a half. That will vary because some processes take more than an hour and a half. So often we'll do some quite strong processes, then you'd have a break. But it works out in the end. Okay? It works out in the end. So if you want to find out more, go to the divinehealingtraining.com. That'll take you to more detailed description of the course. Okay, I'll show you that. Hang on. Just find this. See if it'll come up. Yeah, find it for you. Slow to like this thing. Here we go. So this basically just explains more detail on here. So you can clean up pretty much anything between here and source. This comes from source, but it comes from many different schools of many different beings contribute to divine healing, which is unusual. Normally it's just the angelics do something or the extraterrestrials do something. But it cleans up a whole bunch of stuff and aligns you to higher self. And the idea of it is to return to source and consciousness. That's the whole point of it. It's an enlightenment ascension tool. That's what it's really for. But on a practical basis, it's really clearing anything between here and source that created you the way you are. Okay. All right. SS has asked me, can anyone do this? Any preparation required or precautions to be noted? As long as you can basically feel your emotions to some degree, some of the time, you can do this. Okay. You can't be on any antidepressants or medication that's going to dull your emotional body, because that's going to make it difficult to feel stuff. Okay. All right. Let's have a look here. Essentially, it empowers you to heal yourself, and you can use it on others as well. That's essentially what it does, and to really grow in consciousness. Any other questions there?
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Do we are manuals provided?
Yeah, you'll receive the manual. If you come in person, you'll be a physical manual. If you're online, you'll get a password protected PDF, just like I've been using.
Okay.
Yeah, so you need to print that off and have it in a ring binder. Okay, so you can flick around the pages. It's much quicker than trying to flick on a screen, because sometimes you'd have to look at multiple pages.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, those dates in February, unfortunately, right in the middle of that, I've got an interview, a job interview.
What time is the interview?
My interview's on the 17th at 1 o'clock, and it's like 2 or 3 hour thing in London that I've got to go to. The timing is just But I mean, are you offering training on a monthly basis, or will there be a long wait now until? Because I really want to do this, you know. It's just the dates coincide with that job interview I have.
Let me see if I can help you here. Hang on. If you can't make those dates, let me just see when the next one is. I can't remember where actually we've set that yet. Just a minute. Give me a sec. Just got to figure this out. See if we actually set a firm date for the next one. I was looking on my calendar.
Would it be worth Nikki contacting the proposed employer and suggesting the previous day? Cheekily.
They were holding interviews 16th and 17th of February.
Oh, so right, yes.
17th, yeah, so I can't move it because I've got other people the day before.
So Nikki, the next one is not confirmed at the moment. I'll email you.
Yes, if you could, I'd be able to.
Can you email me too as well? Because I'm not sure if I can make those dates.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually not going to know the firm dates until probably next week. Really.
That's fine. That's fine. I don't mind waiting, but yeah. I mean, do you tend to do this on a month-to-month basis?
We run maybe 2 in England a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, two maybe. Well, I'm running 2 this year in England, one in California, and maybe October we're going to run one in Northern California live. Plus we'll have the Global Web Conference, and there may be three. There'll be at least 3 this year. Depends. The rest of the schedule is not set. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So. If you want to come, just go to the website. You can secure a place with a deposit of £139 or 180 US dollars, depending on the exchange rate. That's changing a lot. And the actual fee is now $4.90 for next year. This is old. Sorry, that it's £490, which is in US dollars. I'll work that out for you. It's about 620 US dollars. Okay. Okay, so I will post this YouTube video, and then any links I'll put in the YouTube section under the sort of text section underneath. But thanks for coming. If you have any further questions, okay, just get hold of me. All right, just let me know. You got my email from setting this up here. Plus direct 3 Ascension. Hope to see you in February. Okay.
Oh, if I could be there, I would be. If they cancel the interview, I'm booking myself in.
Okay.
All right.
Any other,
Lovely, everyone. Thank you.
any other final questions before we part, Jonathan?
Nicholas, just a schedule of payments thing. You said there's a deposit to secure the place.
Yeah.
When's the other half of the payment due?
About a week before.
About a week before. Okay.
We're pretty close to it anyway, as it is. So.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Thank you.
Okay. Any other final ones? Right.
Not from me.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for engagement, people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great working with you. Appreciate that. And thank you to everyone else who's watching afterwards. Okay.
Thank
All right.
you.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.